Well, just digest that information, because that's not even the most impressive one we found.
I think it is.
I suppose it's pretty impressive, but the next one's maybe more shocking.
Okay, right.
But let's play a tune, and Ricky's got another extraordinary fact. The Cure, Love Song, classic on XFM.
So that's the crab that you can download their memories.
But what about other animals that are in the sea, in that same sea, eating the stuff? Have they tested them yet?
I don't know. I think they just took it on because their biology, something to do with, I presume they could take up minerals and, you know, I don't know why. I don't know. But anyway, next one, it's just on the horizons, a bodybuilder, yeah? Married
freaky.
another bodybuilder, right, and they're pregnant, and they had these tests, and the baby was very large, but it was causing it pain, right, in the thing, right, and it's
almost bizarre, and like,
yeah, after the female woke up pregnant after 7 months, and the baby
walking around.
No, it forced its way out of the vagina.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it forced its way out, and it was because it
almost had like super strength, like,
and it was pulling her along by the umbilical cord, and and it was a stone.
Extraordinary. That's freaky. I mean, you talk about freaky stuff.
That's made up.
What?
It wasn't pulling her along.
Well, no, it was pretty. She could feel it.
Exactly. And it was, do you know what I mean? Like, just went, and just sort of squeezed its way
got out, because it was ready, because all the hormones.
Because it thought it was ready.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. Just waking up and finding that in the bottom of the bed. Freak out, wouldn't it? Because you think it was a nightmare initially.
And it had hair and everything, didn't it?
Yeah, because all the hormones, there was like a hair, almost like a beard.
There was something in the week about, you know, you've got test tube babies and that now, haven't you? But they've managed to do it. I only caught half the story.
I knew he'd be more impressed by the crabs than that. He doesn't care if it's
No, I am. I'm telling you though, that, there was something, I only caught half the story because I was busy, but, there's something about babies being able to be born without having any people involved. Or something, it's like putting them in an oven or something, and it's like a cake. And after a certain amount of time, it's ready.
I think you can buy those in Argos for kids at Christmas.
It's my first baby kit.
Yeah. There's Play-Doh, I think, that they can buy.
Yeah. So what do you think of that then?
The baby one.
Yeah.
I prefer the crab one.
Yeah.
But the baby thing's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
So it was bigger than like the average.
Both made up. We've made those up.
Yeah, they're both rubbish.
They're both
they
bullshit.
are both rubbish. Despite the fact they're both rubbish.
Yeah.
They're interesting.
We made those up. Both those stupid stories up.
Yeah.
Imagine downloading a crab's memories and seeing its mum feeding it as a child.
Both are rubbish.
I had trouble.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna have trouble with, pushed its way out of the vagina.
Yeah.
I practiced that about 30 times yesterday with Stephen. I was going, I'm not gonna be able to do it, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to say that.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed?
A little bit. I mean, the baby one's a bit sort of out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't really having that one.
No.
But the crab one,
See, now, what's interesting, I think, is a useful experiment, Carl. I don't know what it's taught you about yourself. But would you say that that's revealed to you a certain thing? I don't know, maybe that you're a bit gullible. I mean, you know, what I'm saying is maybe you shouldn't accept or swallow your hook, line and sinker everything you read on the web. Do you not think maybe a valuable lesson?
I feel bad because I said to Steve, he won't be annoyed that we conned him, he'd be annoyed that they're actually not true. You'd love that crab thing to be true, wouldn't you?
It wouldn't surprise me if it did happen one day.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and then he's laughing.
And it's, in the break when I said about the crabs, you went, well, I'm keeping them then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, well, I know what you're getting at. with the educating Ricky, but, you know.
Let's see.
You've got, 3 titles.
Yeah.
That I tease you with, different stories. You take your pick and I teach you something. That did happen.
That's a little bit of venom. Yeah, go on.
First one is, don't rub it too hard, you'll get a rasher.
I bet that's bacon related, knowing you.
You've got enough is anus.
Say that again.
Enough is anus.
Enough is enough.
Well.
But it's changed to enough is an anus.
Yeah. And you've got,
yeah.
You've also got, will it be a bloke? Oh no. Will it like a bloke or a woman?
What?
Will it like a bloke or a woman?
Will it?
Yeah.
Will it like a bloke or a woman?
Wow.
Yeah, so they're your 3 stories.
Okay.
Today.
Sounds exciting.
Okay, well I'll have Willet.
Well, we're gonna play a record now, Rick, surely.
Yeah, okay.
And come back with...
Sorry about the crabs and the big baby.
Alright.
It's a valuable lesson learned.
I'll think of a title for him. Yeah, Oasis. The Hindu Times. Carl just did his little screen test down the lens, and he said, "Just look at the camera." He went, "Right, do you want to know about MTV?" She went, "Well, it might be VH1." He went, "Right." He did Rockbusters, then said after the break some Genesis.
I'd watch it.
You didn't tell me she wanted all this. I thought you said, because I said you just bring your own camera in and we'll put it down on some tape and pass that on to her.
Yeah.
So now, I'm doing 2 jobs at once again. This is what I'm saying to you in the week. I'm juggling jobs all the time. I tell you.
Right, come on then.
How much do I get?
He looked straight at the camera and said that.
Right. So, 3 stories. Don't rub it too hard, you'll get a rasher. Enough is anus. And we'll
have that one then.
That one?
Yeah.
Right, well, do you believe in palm reading and stuff?
No. Yes.
Sorry, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, of course we do.
Right, well, there's a fella who, he used to do palm reading.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people, he found that when he went up to him in the street and said, "Do you want your palm reading?" He was like, a lot of them were like, you know, "Oh, I'm a bit ashamed of my nails and stuff because they're a labourer or they're a cleaner or something like that."
I know a lot of labourers are slightly embarrassed by their nails.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
so he found
Look
that,
at my bloody hands, Reg.
well,
That's that hod carrying.
did I ever tell you that? Did I ever tell you that I got picked at school to make tea and serve biscuits to old people because I've got good nails?
No, go on. Is there any more to the story?
Well, that's about it. I mean, we used to do, like, I think the head teacher must have been getting something, maybe getting his mum in there for free or something in old people's home. So he offered the kids at the school, he said, "Right, all sit at your desk and put your hands on the table," and everyone did. And he walked past mine and he said, "Not bad, not bad." Yeah. And he said, "You've got the afternoon off, you can go and serve biscuits and tea to the old people."
What did you say?
I said, "All right then."
Was that? Yeah.
Good afternoon. But anyway, so these...
Yeah, what did he do?
He just sort of walked around and went, "You know, right, do you want bourbons or digest?"
I bet you get on with old people, wouldn't you? I'd love to see, maybe
Especially the senile ones.
Yeah, no, but I'd love to see you on VH1, just do a link, and just go, you know, they've just played, Robert Palmer, right? And it comes to you in a little park, and you just sit next to an old lady, go, "Alright?" And you go, "Yeah, not too bad." You go, "What do you think of London? Crap, innit?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's awful, innit?" And you just have a talk, and you go, "Alright, well, she doesn't like it. In excess." That's what I'd like to see.
I still think my idea is better, but... So what are you going for then? Oh, you've picked one, haven't you? Yeah, so this fella...
So there's palmists going around the streets.
Yeah, he's going round and there's a lot
randomly trying to give palm readings.
They're losing money, hand over fist.
Yeah.
Alright, so, they said, he's what he's done, he's reading people's, bottoms now.
Sorry, whoa. You just, I didn't quite follow that. He was a palm reader, that wasn't making money, so now he's going up to people in the street and saying, "Can I see your arse?"
Basically, yeah.
So from being a palmist to an arsonist.
Well, they just, that's what he does. He said the same sort of lines and that you get on your hand, you get them on your bottom, and, he can read them.
Right.
Yeah, he's not a pervert or anything, or making up as he goes along.
No, that's it, that was that.
So, sorry, if a man came up to you in the street and said, "Can I have a look at your arse?"
Can I read your arse?
You'd drop your trousers, would you?
No, if he went up to him and they said, "Oh, I'd rather you didn't because I'm a labourer, I've got bad fingernails."
No, that's why I've seen, that's what a lot of labourers, they're showing their cleavage, you think, but actually they're having their arse read.
Absolutely.
That's that's what it is.
And then, right...
So is that the end of the story?
Yeah. But then because...
That's it. Educating Ricky is, there's a bloke who reads arses.
No, but
You're
then,
a mentalist.
But no, but
what are you talking about?
But then, do you know, like, now and again I come up with a little jokey line. Thought I'd make an effort today for VH1 or MTV.
Yeah.
Little line there. Don't worry, it won't last. It might just be a splash in the pan.
Okay.
Phil Collins next.
Yes, let's play some Phil. Let's play some Phil.
Whereas now, they can't do that. They've gone, "Whoa, pull that back, why is that letter there?" And now you've got stuff like abbreviations and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's not waste letters. Let's just control it a little bit. Cars are called things like you know, GTI or something, because they're going, well, I can't think of a word to call this. So they're giving them letters. Think of a word now. Think of a word that hasn't been made up.
What do you mean?
Well, tell me a word that hasn't been made up.
All words have been made up.
No, one that hasn't. That could be used. Say if I invent something now to put in shampoo, what can I call it? Quick.
Cranberry.
No, it's too close to that. No, we can't get that past the advertising person.
Scrimpton.
Scrimpton.
Yeah.
It took Ricky 2 goes and you accepted his second one.
Well, I think we've sorted out the future.
I don't care because it's the last day on Earth.
What would you do?
I've always wanted to kick a duck up the arse. The spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of, the ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet, they're lurking in the undergrowth?
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very surprised?
I'd be surprised if there was something...
It sounds like laziness on your part.
But they're
No,
discovering
it's
new
not.
species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to, we live in a
we
world
don't.
now. We do, we know about a lot of the dangerous stuff. Whenever they find something new now, it's like a new butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of AIDS.
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean it's not a
ladybird.
natural thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something that's... AIDS hasn't been, like, living under the soil for millions of years, but I'll wait till the 1980s and I'll come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a natural
It's a new thing. It's new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? Evolutionary terms, there's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top, right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities of the universe, of the way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
Well, why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. I think it's someone in the 1900s. We said everything that's going to be invented has been invented. And then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that you kind of go, it's all right, it's a good idea, but we don't need it.
Yeah, but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains of our generation. That was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who said he's up there with Einstein?
His PR people
in one of those programmes where they did like great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go, Einstein, you know, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson, and they started to run out because it is harder to come up with something new now, because everything that's needed. Remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well, somebody, yeah.
And what can it do? I'll shake
Necessity
it like
is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, where's a loophole in the market? Where's a niche?
Here's something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster, so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
Right.
I found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So I'd just been beaten to the post.
Think of computers.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever, well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well,
it's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do... I know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that.
You'd go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though,
But
isn't it?
Carl, there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, you know, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, wheels, we've got them, yeah, steering wheel. And then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find
Carl,
these sand.
but the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that, what am I talking about, sand makes computer chips, that silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
Yeah, but that's nature. You see, nature is amazing. You can't beat nature. Right?
No.
It comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Carl. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse. Because that's a lot different. I told you, didn't I, about me dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it.
What? Well, there's two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot and sort of, you know, pinching her arse and stuff like that.
Right,
No, that's
wait
not
a minute,
true.
we've
It's not
never heard
true.
this before. How have we had all these years
No,
of
I'm sure I
monkeys and we've
told you
never
about
heard this
it ages
before?
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I told you.
Why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people did. They all had, like, odd sort of pets and
When?
that, didn't they? In, like, about 68.
Oh,
1968.
1968, when everyone had a monkey.
But you had to thump it. Now, the weird thing is...
No, that's weird enough.
Is this is all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got, all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it?
Yeah, my dad told me about it. When he found out that I was into monkeys, he said, oh, Benny thumped one. And,
Benny thumped one. Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly simian variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one. Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that people are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, you thumped a monkey.
Yes, they do. They do go, you thumped a monkey.
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
But this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if
It
it wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human... I mean, in the 70s, you know, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
when
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere, people go, that's unfair. Now
They-
they're in like a cage in a zoo. You go, it was better when I was pushing a piano up a stairs.
They weren't really.
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going, okay, now at least we were free.
Remember when we used to drive a van?
And
for a
we're, on,
living?
and we're on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. Cruel to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cruel to keep a monkey. What do you think of that, Carl? If you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal, what would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, you know, like that.
I don't think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do? Cockroach.
No, I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right. Okay.
I'd have a head of an owl.
Right.
The head of an owl.
Yeah. Why? Come on. Why? What does that bring to the table?
The head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the
make it
human
friendly.
race. So
Okay.
because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works.
Yeah,
right? With
okay.
a cat and a dog and all that. So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have. I wouldn't have legs. I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you mean? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with the head of an owl.
Slithering along. How is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the slug.
You know, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with a going hoo, right. You come over, you kick the head off. How is this
No,
a
because the head
survival?
can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that. It just curls up into a
No,
ball.
this isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's... Oh,
Why has it got the slug? Why is that
Because
so
what
attractive?
I'm thinking is an armadillo. They're good when they're on their feet. Flip them, they get stuck like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why
lock
have a
stuff.
limpet then?
But it can't get any. How it can barely move. It can hardly get
Just go
anywhere.
and kick it.
Just
Just
can't get
Well, how
anywhere.
can it escape from danger? It's going to move very
rubbish.
slowly.
No, 'cause
What? That's the
it'll
worst
lock itself
animal.
in. It'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up on the
You
sand.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why has it got peacock feathers?
Again, it's just
the worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's
does,
what
well,
peacock
that's the
feathers do.
least threatening thing, peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's
Yeah.
nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans,
Yeah.
but the humans won't be harming it because they like the owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce! They eat Why has it got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what it's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yes,
Let it eat
yeah.
lettuce. It moves that, and let it eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, like when you went out to empty your bin, he was one of them sliding up the wall. You wouldn't even double take. You'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feathered thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even expanding
got
its limitations.
Well,
No,
it's mainly
problem.
made as to be on walls. Because what else is living on walls?
Oh, God! Oh, fucking hell! What a useless animal that is! Carl, I mean. And also, Carl's lottery numbers. He's a little bit more confident this week.
Okay, good.
He went, they're more like it. And I looked at him and I laughed. He went, no, even Suzanne said I'm more on the right lines there. Is anyone who, has done a degree in maths or A-level maths that can bear... Carl won't believe this, right? Carl thinks... I was partly doing it to confuse him, just see that look on his face like a cat, right? But there is the chances with a random numbers, for example the lottery, of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are no greater than any other single combination.
Right.
Now that's true. I don't mean you're more likely to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 than any other combination put together, but than any other individual combination, they're all equal. It's counterintuitive, I know. I know you think that to get a run of 1 to 6 is less likely than anything else, but it's not. Any named combination... It's not, Carl. If there's a
Well,
probability...
it's never happened. Yeah, it's never happened.
Yeah, but there's any number of combinations that have
never happened. Every one of those combinations that have come up have happened, and they're just as likely or unlikely as any other combination, right? It's just that you feel intuitively, right, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is less likely than 1, 7, 12, 34, 60. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't win.
Play record.
Okay.
Wu-Tang Clan, Uzi, on XFM 104.9. Well, here we are, the day before St Patrick's Day.
Oh, hooray! Brilliant!
Guinness, etc.
I hate English people, I should say, who are obsessed with celebrating St. Patrick's Day. You know, all crazy. It's like Chris Evans used to rave on about it. We're going to Dublin, we're going to get drunk, wow. It's like, it means nothing to
I think
English
XFM
people,
just
does
did
it?
that to be
Well,
honest.
yeah, exactly. Just as bad.
Careful, they are employers. You don't want to annoy them. What would we do without this?
Well, that's true. Yeah, have an enjoyable Saturday.
No, this is my favourite 2 hours. You like this, don't you?
Well, I don't know.
We can't do this through May and June.
No, we'll be gone.
We've got to record the second series of The Office. What are we going to do, Carl? What are you going to do on a Saturday?
Host a show yourself?
Doing it on my own.
You are not.
Are you seriously thinking of it? Have they
We've
asked you to
made
do
you
it?
everything you...
Why would you not think about it?
Because I've been there, done that.
Next challenge, please!
Oh dear. Do you know what St Patrick did? Why he was revered as a saint and everything? What was he famous for in Ireland? He rid Ireland of something.
I don't know, but I bet he started off with something odd happening in his life.
What, you think he had asthma or something as a kid?
They all do.
And he took it out on what, though?
What did he exactly? He took it out on something. What did he do? What did he rid Ireland of?
St. Patrick.
St. Patrick.
This is why we're going to get crazy and drunk tomorrow. This is why we're also happy to celebrate his anniversary, or whatever it is we're celebrating. This is
That's why we have a crack.
Yeah, this is why we don't bother to celebrate, the birthdays of James Joyce, one of the great novelists of this century, or Samuel Beckett, one of the great playwrights. We actually celebrate this man, St. Patrick, the man who did what?
Don't diss him. He did a good job of it as well, because there's none there now. There are none of these in Ireland. So, he rid Ireland of something.
Come on, Carl. Think of something. Just give us an answer. What's the
He went round on a horse whacking them and...
He went on a horse whacking them.
Yeah.
What was it, Carl?
What did he rid Ireland of?
Went on a horse. Foxes. I don't
Well,
know.
no, you're on the right lines.
On the right lines. It was an animal.
Oh. Bears.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Dave.
Wow! It was snakes.
Right.
And there are no snakes in
He
Ireland.
rid Ireland of all the snakes.
Yeah.
Who did it here then? Because there isn't that many.
Well, I think he had a stab at it over here as well, but got tired and went back.
Yeah.
That's why there's just a few snakes here.
Is
Is it true that there are no snakes in Ireland?
I think it is. I think if someone called it
And what is there any historical evidence for St. Patrick ridding them of... I mean, how did he do it? Was it like the Pied Piper?
See, I'm not convinced that he did go around killing snakes, but there are no snakes
Really?
in Ireland, and that's, yeah. I don't know the ins and outs. If someone knows the ins and outs, we had a few, probability experts and statisticians and maths graduates confirming that, indeed, I was correct, that the probability of 1 to 6 in a row is no more or less likely than any other single combination in a totally random selection of balls. Which brings us back to Hitler, doesn't it? Because he only had one, didn't he?
Well,
But coming up, we'll be asking Karl all about Hitler, the education of Karl. He's done Rasputin, he's done Che Guevara.
Plus, of course, White Van Carl, where we
White Van
asked
Carl.
Carl some of the, his opinions on some of the hot potatoes of the week.
You learned as you go along, because you've got something about St. Patrick there. That was thrown in for free. That was an extra...
I'll learn you something here. Snakes.
Well, sorry, Karl, just stop you there, and I'll teach you something, right?
Oh, go on then.
You don't learn someone something, you teach them something.
Yeah.
It's not one's passive. You
Do you know
learn.
Ricky, I'm sorry, mate, but I don't think you should be teaching people how to speak or use grammar. I just don't think it's appropriate. It's embarrassing, frankly. Because there's so many errors that you're making. It's like, where to start with you?
Oh.
Snakes, right? You're talking about snakes.
Yeah.
A lot of snakes are born with 2 heads. It's like a familiar type thing that happens to snakes.
Okay.
Yeah. They take it for granted, don't they?
Right. Snakes born 2 heads. They'll fight each other for food, even though it's going in the same body.
Isn't that weird?
Were there kids at school that you went to who had 2 heads?
The snake twins.
Yeah.
From Moseley. Oh,
there was kids at your school with 2 heads, was that right? What?
No, they had big heads.
Oh, they had big heads.
And webbed hands, but they weren't related. And they weren't friends, because that would have been too obvious,
Yeah.
he said.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve, listen, before you came in, right, I sneezed a couple of times, so if I'm allergic, I've still got a bit of a cold. And I said, oh God, he went, bloody hell, I was like, sorry. And he went, you know you can't sneeze with your eyes open. I went, yeah. And then he was obviously thinking to himself still, and after a pause he went, would your eyes really fly out? And I started laughing. He went, no, because has anyone ever done that, do you think? Has anyone ever held someone down, torturing them, and held their eyelids open and gave them pepper and see if their eyes would fly out? And he said, and then he went, I'm just looking at him again, the silence, and then he went, of his own accord, he just went, I can't see it happening.
Your song here, Ricky.
Oh, this, Bowie. Sorrow, beautiful. Sorrow by David Bowie. I got that on a compilation today, but I think it's originally off the Pin-Ups album, the one we did all the covers, because he didn't write that, did he? That was the one with him and Twiggy on the front cover, isn't it?
Right.
I haven't had that for ages. I haven't got that. So,
Sorry, you lost me. I don't know what you're talking about.
are you reading the book there?
No, I was just reading the brochure there, the programme, if you will, for the Television and Radio Industries Club Awards that we went to. Incidentally, we lost.
We lost to Linda Green.
Yeah, we didn't win an award.
for the best comedy.
But you might be interested to know that Tom O'Connor is in constant demand for corporate functions both here and abroad, and his client list includes many multinational companies. No mean golfer, Tom took the literary world by surprise in 1992 when his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I noticed it didn't take the literary world by storm.
No.
It took it by surprise.
They go, we can't say storm. We've got to say by surprise, from behind.
But his first humorous golf book, From the Wood to the Tees, made the bestseller list. I don't know if that's just books about golf, that bestseller list. Subsequent successful books include One Flew Over the Clubhouse.
Brilliant. Genius.
Take a Funny Turn. Follow Me, I'm Right Behind You. And Eat Like a Horse, Drink Like a Fish.
Does it mention Celebrity Squares? Didn't he do that?
No.
He did,
Crosswits.
name that tune.
Well, that's right. It's
Crosswords. Do you remember Crosswords?
It was from the 80s.
It was like a crossword game show.
It was often with Kate Copstick. But I saw one, right, it was on Challenge, TV being repeated. And no, Andy Crane, remember Andy Crane?
Yeah.
He was the link man, and he went, coming up next, Tom O'Connor with Crosswits, with, well, in my opinion, one of the best Crosswits players of all time, John Junkin.
Oh, who's your favourite Crosswits player?
It's got to be Junkin for me as well. But Copstick was
Barry
alright.
Cryer's bloody good.
Cryer was good. I watched Call My Bluff in the week.
Is this with Togsvig and
yeah, it was quite good. I quite enjoyed
I imagine
it.
you could get on there if you
I
want.
used to watch it with what's his name? Famer.
Yeah.
Famer. Yeah. Oh, that was great.
You're
impression.
brilliant impressions, because obviously while Bowie was playing, you were doing your infamous Bowie impression, which is the best one you do, actually.
Well, that's just because Carl said, you know what, he said, I'd love to go out for a drink with David Bowie. Of all the people that come in here for sessions, I think he's really good him. And I said, I think he'd like you as well. That's all, and I just went, hello, Carl. You're strange, you're alien. It interests me. Myself and Ian, I'd like to put you on the... Yeah, I just imagine you and Bowie in a pub somewhere.
Isn't that pretty much the same impression you do when you do Ian Canfield?
No. Ian Canfield's more like that. But not on air. On air, he's sort of like this sort of eloquent 40-year-old capital DJ.
Yeah.
And,
But when you talk to him in the studio,
he's
like a
slowly
rock
turning.
legend.
He's slowly turning into Tommy Vance, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
This is one of his pillars of rock. Canfield. He loves Vance, Lemmy, Diano.
If we run out of material later in the show, which is likely,
Yeah.
considering we're now talking about Ian
We
Canfield's
ran out of it at
favourite-
1:05.
Exactly.